This is Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, in the early 1940s. The 17-point agreement in which Tibet was defined as being part of the Chinese motherland was signed in Beijing without the Dalai Lama's consent. The long-awaited reunification, as the Chinese called it, was completed when their troops invaded Lhasa in October 1951.
I think 16, 17, I already, took the responsibility.
An invitation had arrived from the Chinese Governor-General of Tibet, inviting the Dalai Lama to see a dance troupe at the Chinese military headquarters. In the name of dispensing with formality, the Chinese requested that he attended with unarmed bodyguards. Worried that a refusal would worsen the fragile situation, the Dalai Lama accepted, but the news soon spread. Thousands of people rushed to the Norbalinka and surrounded the palace, demanding that the Dalai Lama didn't go. Intelligence reports reached him saying that the Chinese were about to bomb the palace. Convinced that if he left, the people would be saved, the Dalai Lama decided he had to leave.
Of course, I think topmost in my mind is fear, sadness, and almost like the feeling of desperate. So as a human level, very sad, one factor. Then also, several thousand Tibetan, suppose different Nobulinga already gets there. So that also additional worry. If something happened, then thousands of people will die.
The Dalai Lama escaped from the Norbalinka that night, disguised as a Tibetan soldier. Within days, the Chinese systematically shelled the Norbalinka Palace, the Potala, and the Jokang. The Tibetan resistance, made up of freedom fighters and monks who had taken up arms for the first time in their lives, were no match for the Chinese army. They surrendered after 3 days. The Tibetan government was abolished and the Chinese began to destroy Tibetan society and its Buddhist culture and traditions. Monasteries were looted and scriptures burnt. Nuns and monks were forced to denounce their faith, discard their robes. They were even forced to marry each other. Class resentment amongst the peasants over Tibet's feudal system was ruthlessly exploited. The government officials and aristocrats were imprisoned or forced to do menial jobs. They were subjected to public interrogation sessions, many resulting in death. The Indian government granted the Dalai Lama political asylum, and 80,000 refugees escaped from Tibet to join him. The Dalai Lama appealed to the United Nations, calling on China to respect the human rights of Tibetans and their desire for self-determination. Despite 3 resolutions adopted by the UN General Assembly, the fact that thousands of monasteries were destroyed and hundreds of thousands of Tibetans were imprisoned in labour camps, the international community refused to intervene.
It's entirely a different world. And it was, to me, it's very sad. For instance, like my grandfather wanted Tibet. I get very emotional to talk about Tibet, you know. My grandfather wanted Tibet to be with the outside world and to join the United Nations, to educate the Tibetans outside and to be with the modern world. But his visions and his wishes, and also his 13th Dalai Lama and 14th Dalai Lama had a wish that we must have contact with the international world. But unfortunately, from our own side, we were so blind and we knew nothing of the outside world. We were just so engrossed in our little pond, you know, so we knew nothing, what was happening to the world, what could happen. And so we lost our country.
In the wake of the latest self-immolation, exiled Tibetans residing in northern India have slammed Beijing over its repressive policies and blamed China's leadership for causing protesters to take their lives. Here's more.
A second man has self-immolated in Tibet, the second such protest against Chinese communist rule this year.
A Tibetan man has set himself on fire in New Delhi in protest against the visit to India by China's President Hu Jintao.
90 Tibétains qui se sont immolés par le feu. 1 en 2009, 12 en 2011 et 77 en 2012. Seulement en novembre 2012, 28 Tibétains se sont immolés.
According to Free Tibet, 97 Tibetans have self-immolated since 2009.
It was a legend, dear Tuval and Nabatu, Samuel Logan, Charu Nyamdeta, Tarin Nimuti, Jesuchi, Jede Shuba, overchanging the same Nalola. Shut up, using the Pusha be a per minute, Lela Wachik while putting minute means of again, Babaku Yore, Nimataring is so gisne. Satu minute, Tatu Jing, Tito in a dado, Tote in a dado, Mima in a dado, Sotila, Ledo Karishi, Sosumonik, Yagochia, Lodache body, until Legate rests in the Shui. Tadu. Alanto lana me uti chino kosa kebe wo tamje kinji sipachi ucho uti shabe kije tije tuki shilon da lugi trubata bura wara te tama dojine ke sapoda like seti ki dula be shiji nyam som yome ki tashi miduche bedelo 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 kosa kawar moche kosa kawar moche kosa kawar moche. Come on, Bernard! Come on, Bernard! Come on, Bernard! Bernard!